Hello everyone, my name is Ammar Gangadiwala. I'm a cloud architect with 20 plus years of experience in software industry, focusing mostly on Azure and Microsoft technology stack. In today's session, I will show you how to create and deploy Azure function using C# and .NET. Prerequisites: Azure Subscription, Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, and .NET version 5 plus. GitHub repository, this is the URL where you can download the source code. All this information I will put in the description section of this video. What is Azure Functions? Azure Function is a serverless computing services offered by Microsoft Azure. It allows developers to create small, single-purpose functions or applications that run in the cloud without the need for a server or infrastructure management. Azure Function supports multiple programming languages, including C#, Java, JavaScript, Python, and PowerShell. It integrates with other Azure services such as Azure Event Grid, Azure Service Bus, Azure Cosmos DB to enable the event-driven scenarios and serverless workflows. To create Azure functions, the first step is to create function app. Function app is a collection of Azure functions. So I will log into my portal, and the portal I can create the function app, or I can see it over here, but you can also search it from the search menu. The search menu, I will type function and it will show over here. I select from function app from here, and then you can create new function or you can use the existing function app. In my case, I will create a new function app just for the demonstration purpose. Here you select the resource group. I have the resource group. This is a unique name, so I will give some unique name. Publish is a code. Runtime stack. I will select .NET. Here the version 6 is okay. Region. I will select South Central. Select the operating system. I will select Windows. Consumption serverless. Networking. Leave the default values. Deployment. I will leave the default values for the deployment as well. Tags. And then review and create. Now we have created a function app. Let's create function. Open Visual Studio, File, New Project, search for function, Azure Functions, click on the next button, give the name, give the name of the project. Click on the next button, leave default, create, change the file name. I will say get weather function. I will add a new item, new file, call it weather forecast. Look at the code snippet is from my GitHub repository. Copy here, paste it here. Okay. This is my GitHub repository URL.
Copy this thing.
I will rebuild this project. Rebuild successful. Let's run this Azure function locally. I will click over here. This will open the command window. This will give the URL. Click on this URL. Open the browser. Click over here. and test it. So now this application is running locally. Then I can publish it to the Azure. Select over here, select Azure from here, click next button, select Azure function of Windows because what we created in the first step, Azure function app, which was of type we selected Windows as a container. Click next. Here you will see the function app that we created in the step 1, and I can click on finish button and I can publish it from here. I can also do it from the Visual Studio Code. So let me show you how to do it from Visual Studio Code. Go back to the command window, type code dot, this will launch Visual Studio Code. Okay. Click on the command palette. Here you see the Azure function, deploy to function app, select that one. It's loading. Azure function app, select Azure function app. Are you sure you want to deploy? Yes, I want to deploy. Now we have successfully deployed our function from Visual Studio Code. Let's go to the Azure portal. In Azure portal, I will select the Azure function app that I've created earlier. Click on this one, scroll down over here to the blade, and here you see functions. Click on the functions, and in the function, you will see the get weather app or function that we have created and deployed using Visual Studio Code. Click over here, select code and into code plus test. Over here, you see the get function URL. We'll click on get function URL, copy this one, copy to the clipboard, open over here, and here successfully we have created a function and deployed the function into the Azure. I hope you enjoyed the session. Please don't forget to click on the like, subscribe, and the bell icon.